The Nobel Prize, a symbol of intellectual achievement, a beacon of hope and progress. Or is it? Recent events suggest a more complicated truth. The nomination of Daniela Weiss for the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize has sparked outrage and disbelief. Weiss, a prominent figure in the Israeli settler movement, is a staunch advocate for illegal settlements in the West Bank. This nomination throws a harsh light on the Nobel Committee's selection process. How can someone who actively disregards international law be considered for a peace prize? This isn't the first time the Nobel Prize has found itself embroiled in controversy. From questionable nominations to blatant omissions, the prize has strayed far from Alfred Nobel's original vision. The Nobel Prize was meant to recognize those who have conferred the greatest benefit to humankind. Is that what we're seeing? Or has the prize become a tool for political maneuvering and the advancement of certain agendas? The Nobel Prize needs a serious reality check. It's time to address the elephant in the room. The selection process lacks transparency. The criteria are murky at best, and the overrepresentation of certain groups raises serious questions about bias. One cannot ignore the glaring disparity in Nobel Prize recipients. Jewish individuals, while representing a small percentage of the global population, are vastly overrepresented among laureates. This raises uncomfortable questions about potential bias within the selection process. Is this a result of genuine meritocracy, or do deeper systemic issues lurk beneath the surface? The lack of diversity among Nobel laureates extends beyond religious lines. Women, people of color, and individuals from the global south remain woefully underrepresented. This glaring lack of diversity paints a bleak picture. It suggests that brilliance and innovation are not evenly distributed across humanity. Rather, they are concentrated within specific demographics. This lack of representation is not just a matter of optics. It has real-world consequences. When certain voices are consistently amplified while others are silenced, it creates a distorted view of human achievement. It perpetuates harmful stereotypes and reinforces existing power structures. The Nobel Prize should be a celebration of human ingenuity in all its forms. Instead, it often feels like an exclusive club, one that caters to a select few while ignoring the vast tapestry of human experience. History is littered with examples of Nobel Prizes awarded under dubious circumstances. The 1973 Peace Prize, awarded to Henry Kissinger for his role in negotiating a ceasefire in Vietnam, despite the war raging on, is a prime example. This decision sparked international outrage. Many saw it as a blatant attempt to legitimize a flawed peace agreement and a brutal war. The 2009 Peace Prize, awarded to Barack Obama just months into his presidency, is another case in point. While Obama's message of hope and diplomacy resonated with many, his actual achievements at that time were slim to none. The award was widely seen as premature and politically motivated. It undermined the very ideals the Nobel Prize claims to uphold. These examples highlight a disturbing trend. The Nobel Prize is often used as a tool for political posturing, rather than a genuine recognition of merit. This politicization undermines the prize's legitimacy and casts a long shadow over its legacy. The Nobel Prize is riddled with limitations and archaic rules. The rule of three, for example, limits each prize to a maximum of 3 individuals. In today's world of collaborative research and interdisciplinary breakthroughs, this rule is woefully outdated. It forces the Nobel Committee to make impossible choices, often overlooking deserving individuals who made significant contributions to larger projects. The nomination and selection process itself is shrouded in secrecy. This lack of transparency breeds suspicion and distrust. It allows for personal biases and external pressures to influence the selection of laureates. This undermines the integrity of the entire process, leaving many to question whether the Nobel Prize truly reflects the pinnacle of human achievement. Alfred Nobel envisioned a prize that would celebrate the very best of humanity, a prize that would inspire future generations to strive for excellence in their respective fields. Sadly, the Nobel Prize has drifted far from its idealistic origins. It has become mired in controversy, plagued by bias and constrained by outdated rules. Until these fundamental issues are addressed, the Nobel Prize will remain a shadow of its former self, a pale imitation of the noble aspirations of its founder. Of the 965 individual recipients of the Nobel Prize and the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences between 1901 and 2023, at least 216 have been Jews or people with at least one Jewish parent, representing 22% of all recipients. Jews constitute only 0.2% of the world's population, meaning their share of winners is 110 times their proportion of the world's population. This striking overrepresentation raises questions and sparks debates. Some attribute this phenomenon to a strong cultural emphasis on education and intellectual achievement within Jewish communities. Others suggest that historical and social factors have played a role, with Jewish individuals often seeking refuge and recognition in academia and intellectual pursuits. However, this statistic also opens the door to another perspective: the potential biases and systemic factors within the Nobel nomination and selection process. Were there many more people better suited to win these awards? Why do Jews dominate the nominations and wins? It's a complex issue that invites further scrutiny and introspection. As we ponder these questions, it becomes clear that the Nobel Prize, while prestigious, is not immune to the influences and biases that shape our world. Understanding these dynamics is essential if we are to truly honor the spirit of Alfred Nobel's vision. A vision that sought to celebrate the best of humanity, irrespective of background or heritage.